Hello, and welcome. There are few sports that capture the imagination quite like tennis. It is a spectacle of grace, power, and incredible mental fortitude played out on courts across the globe. From the gentle thud of the ball in a quiet park to the thunderous applause at a Grand Slam final, tennis has a unique rhythm that speaks to millions. But have you ever wondered where this wonderful game came from? Its story is as fascinating as any five-set thriller, stretching back centuries and involving monks, kings, and Victorian inventors. It is a journey that has taken the sport from enclosed courtyards to the world's biggest stadiums, creating legends along the way. In this exploration, we will trace the complete history of this magnificent sport. We will travel back to medieval France, where the earliest form of tennis was first played, not with rackets, but with the palm of the hand. We will then see how it became a favorite pastime of European royalty, a symbol of status and sophistication. From there, our story moves to the green lawns of 19th century England, where the modern game we know and love was born. This evolution set the stage for a global phenomenon, one that would unite people from all walks of life in a shared passion for the sport. The journey of tennis is also a story of innovation and tradition. It is about the establishment of hallowed tournaments like Wimbledon, which have upheld their unique customs for over a century, while also moving with the times. We will delve into the pivotal moments that shaped professional tennis, such as the dawn of the Open Era, which allowed professionals to compete alongside amateurs and transformed the sport into a global commercial powerhouse. This change brought with it greater prize money, worldwide television coverage, and a new level of athleticism and competitiveness that continues to push the boundaries of what is possible. Ultimately, the story of tennis is about the people who play it. We will celebrate the iconic players, the trailblazers and champions whose incredible skill, fierce rivalries, and inspiring sportsmanship have captivated audiences for generations. From the early pioneers who fought for recognition to the modern-day superstars who command a global stage, these athletes have become household names and role models. So, let us begin this remarkable journey together, exploring how a simple courtly game evolved into one of the world's most beloved and enduring sports, a true testament to human dedication and the pursuit of excellence. The story of tennis begins not on a manicured lawn, but in the quiet stone cloisters of 12th century French monasteries. Here, monks played a simple game called Jeu de Paume, which translates to game of the palm. They would hit a ball back and forth over a rope or a fringed cord, using only their bare or gloved hands. The game was played indoors, often in a courtyard, with the walls and sloping roofs forming an integral part of the playing area. This early version was a far cry from the tennis we see today, but it contained the essential DNA of the sport: two sides, a net, and the objective of keeping the ball in play. As the game's popularity grew, it moved beyond the monastery walls and into the heart of French society. The nobility quickly adopted Jeu de Paume, transforming it from a monastic pastime into a fashionable sport for the elite. The simple hand-hitting evolved with the introduction of a basic racket, initially a paddle, and later a strung wooden frame, which allowed for more power and control. Specialized indoor courts were built, and the game became a popular spectator sport. By the 16th century, it was so ingrained in French culture that it was simply known as tennis, a name derived from the French word tenez, meaning take heed or play, which players would call out before serving. The sport's appeal soon crossed the English Channel, where it found an equally enthusiastic royal audience. King Henry VIII of England was a particularly passionate and skilled player. He was a formidable athlete in his youth and built several tennis courts, most famously at his Hampton Court Palace. This court, constructed in the 1530s, is still in use today and stands as a magnificent testament to the game's long and regal history. For Henry and his fellow royals, tennis was more than just a game. It was a way to display their athleticism, engage in friendly competition, and entertain the court. His devotion helped solidify tennis as the sport of kings. This royal patronage ensured that tennis, in its original form, now known as real tennis, remained a prestigious and exclusive activity for centuries. It was played in the enclosed complex courts of palaces and aristocratic estates across Europe. The scoring system was different, and the rules were more intricate than modern tennis, involving bouncing the ball off walls and into various openings. While it was a fascinating and challenging game, its reliance on expensive, purpose-built courts meant it would remain inaccessible to the general public. A new chapter was needed for tennis to reach the masses, and that chapter would be written on the green lawns of Victorian England. The transformation of tennis from an exclusive indoor game to an accessible outdoor sport happened in the mid-19th century, thanks to the ingenuity of a British Army officer. Major Walter Clopton Wingfield, an imaginative and entrepreneurial man, saw the potential for a new game that could be played outdoors on the popular croquet lawns of Victorian England. In 1873, he patented a game he called sphäristike, a Greek word meaning skill in playing ball. This new version was simpler than real tennis, designed to be played on an hourglass-shaped court with a net, rackets, and rubber balls that could bounce on grass. Major Wingfield marketed his new invention in a box set, which included everything a family needed to play: a net, posts, balls, and a rulebook. This clever packaging made the game an instant commercial success. Families across Britain and its colonies eagerly bought the sets, drawn to a sport that men and women could play together in a socially acceptable setting. The name sphäristike was quickly dropped in favor of the much simpler and more familiar lawn tennis. The hourglass court shape was also soon replaced by the rectangular court we recognize today, making the game more standardized and competitive. The rise of lawn tennis was perfectly timed. The Victorian era was a period of growing middle-class prosperity and an increased interest in leisure and outdoor activities. Tennis clubs began to spring up all over the country, providing dedicated facilities and a social hub for enthusiasts. These clubs became the backbone of the sport's development, organizing local tournaments and helping to formalize the rules. The game spread like wildfire, not just through Britain, but across the British Empire and to America, carried by those who had discovered this exciting new pastime. It was a sport for a new age, dynamic, sociable, and open to all. A crucial development that enabled the birth of lawn tennis was the invention of vulcanized rubber by Charles Goodyear in the 1850s. This process created rubber balls that could bounce reliably on grass, something that was not possible before. Prior to this, balls were typically made of leather, stuffed with hair or wool, suitable for the hard surfaces of indoor courts, but not for turf. Major Wingfield's genius was in combining this new technology with a simplified set of rules and a portable format. He had created a game that was not just fun to play, but perfectly suited to the social and technological landscape of his time. As lawn tennis clubs multiplied, the need for a definitive set of rules and a premier championship became clear. This moment arrived in 1877, when the All England Croquet and Lawn Tennis Club decided to hold its first lawn tennis championship. The club, located in Wimbledon, London, was looking to raise funds for a new pony-drawn roller for its lawns. So, they organized a gentlemen's singles tournament, attracting 22 amateur players. The winner was a local man named Spencer Gore, who took home a silver challenge cup and 12 guineas in prize money. This first tournament was a modest affair, but it laid the foundation for what would become the world's most prestigious tennis event. The inaugural Wimbledon Championship was hugely significant because it established a standardized set of rules that became the basis for modern tennis. It also cemented the rectangular court and the scoring system that we still use today. The tournament's success captured public attention and elevated tennis from a simple garden party game to a serious competitive sport. Other clubs and nations soon followed Wimbledon's lead, organizing their own national championships. This created a structure for international competition and propelled the sport onto the global stage. Wimbledon quickly became the unofficial world championship, a title it proudly holds to this day. The scoring system in tennis is one of its most unique features, with its sequence of 15, 30, 40, and game. Its origins are thought to trace back to the French jeu de paume. One popular theory suggests the scores were based on a clock face, with points moving from 15 to 30 to 45, later shortened to 40 for simplicity. Another theory links it to the stakes gambled on each point. Regardless of its exact origin, this system, along with the game formats of singles and doubles, was formally adopted in the late 19th century. Tennis also found its way into the first modern Olympic Games in Athens in 1896, signaling its growing international status. though it was later removed before making a triumphant return in 1988. The growth of tennis worldwide was rapid. By the early 20th century, national tennis associations had been formed in many countries, and international competitions were established. The most famous of these was the Davis Cup, which began in 1900 as a contest between the United States and Great Britain. It soon expanded to include teams from around the world, becoming the premier international team event in men's tennis. This global spread created a vibrant international circuit, allowing players from different nations to compete against one another and fostering a sense of a worldwide tennis community, all starting from that first tournament on the lawns of Wimbledon. For much of its history, top-level tennis was strictly an amateur sport. The major tournaments, including the 4 Grand Slams, were open only to players who did not receive payment for competing. This created a divide in the sport. The best amateur players were celebrated champions at events like Wimbledon, but they could not earn a living from their talent. Meanwhile, a separate professional circuit existed where players could earn money by playing in tours and exhibition matches, but they were barred from the most prestigious championships. This system, known as chamateurism, became increasingly unsustainable as many top amateurs were secretly paid under the table. The turning point came in 1968 with the dawn of the Open era. Led by the All England Club, the major tennis governing bodies finally agreed to abolish the distinction between amateurs and professionals. For the first time, all players, regardless of their status, could compete in all tournaments, including the Grand Slams. This single decision revolutionized tennis overnight. It legitimized professionalism, allowing the world's best players to earn a fair living from the sport they dedicated their lives to. The first Open Grand Slam was the 1968 French Championships, followed shortly by Wimbledon, heralding a new and exciting chapter for tennis. The impact of the Open era was immediate and profound. Prize money at tournaments surged, attracting more top athletes to the sport and raising the level of competition. Television broadcasters, now able to showcase all the best players in one place, began to invest heavily in covering the sport. This exposure turned tennis players into global celebrities and brought the drama and excitement of the professional tour into living rooms around the world. The sport's popularity exploded, and a structured, year-long professional tour began to take shape, with rankings that determined entry into tournaments and seeded the top players. This new era of professionalism also spurred the formation of player associations. In 1972, the Association of Tennis Professionals, or ATP, was founded to represent the interests of male players, and a year later, Billie Jean King led the creation of the Women's Tennis Association, or WTA. These organizations gave the players a unified voice, helping them negotiate for better prize money, improved playing conditions, and a more organized tour schedule. The Open era transformed tennis from a genteel pastime into a major international professional sport, creating the thriving, competitive, and highly commercialized landscape that we know today. At the heart of the professional tennis calendar are the 4 Grand Slam tournaments: the Australian Open, the French Open, Wimbledon, and the US Open. These are the most prestigious events in the sport, offering the most ranking points, prize money, and public attention. Each has its own unique character, defined by its surface and traditions. The Australian Open and US Open are played on hard courts, the French Open on iconic red clay, and Wimbledon on classic grass. Winning all 4 in a single calendar year, a Grand Slam is the rarest and most difficult achievement in tennis, a feat accomplished by only a handful of legendary players. Among the 4 majors, Wimbledon holds a special place. As the oldest tennis tournament in the world, it is steeped in tradition. Players must adhere to an all-white dress code, a custom that dates back to the Victorian era. The tournament is famous for its royal box, its strawberries and cream, and the absence of sponsor advertising on the courts, which preserves its timeless feel. Playing on the hallowed grass of center court is considered the ultimate dream for many tennis players. These traditions connect the modern game to its historic roots and give Wimbledon an atmosphere unlike any other event in world sport. The history of tennis is defined by its great champions, players whose talent and charisma transcended the sport. In the Open era, rivalries like that between the cool Swede Björn Borg and the fiery American John McEnroe captivated the world. The women's game was elevated by pioneers like Billie Jean King, who fought for equality, and the incredible dominance of Martina Navratilova and Chris Evert. Their achievements paved the way for future generations. The late 20th century saw the rise of all-court masters like Pete Sampras and Andre Agassi, and the powerful Graf sisters, Steffi and Venus, who brought a new level of athleticism to the sport. In the 21st century, tennis has been blessed with an unprecedented golden age. The big three of men's tennis, Roger Federer, Rafael Nadal, and Novak Djokovic, have rewritten the record books, pushing each other to unimaginable heights of excellence. Their sustained dominance and contrasting styles have created the greatest era in the history of men's tennis. In the women's game, Serena and Venus Williams have been transformative figures, inspiring millions with their power, longevity, and incredible success. These global icons have not only dominated the sport, but have also become cultural ambassadors, bringing tennis to new audiences around the globe. Today, on this day, February 14th, 2026, tennis stands as one of the most popular and truly global sports. It is played and watched by hundreds of millions of people on every continent. The professional tours visit dozens of countries each year, and the player roster is more diverse than ever before, with champions hailing from all corners of the world. This international appeal is a testament to the game's simple yet captivating nature. Whether played on a dusty court in a small village or under the bright lights of Arthur Ashe Stadium, the fundamental challenge of skill, strategy, and endurance remains the same, speaking a universal language of sport. The modern game has also been shaped by remarkable advances in technology and equipment. Rackets have evolved from heavy wooden frames to lightweight, powerful graphite composites, allowing players to generate incredible speed and spin. Polyester strings have given players more control and durability, while high-tech footwear and apparel have improved player movement and comfort. Technology has also enhanced the viewing experience, with innovations like Hawkeye line calling technology ensuring fairness and adding an extra layer of drama to matches. These developments have made the game faster, more athletic, and more precise than ever before. While the sport continues to evolve, its connection to tradition remains a vital part of its identity. Events like Wimbledon serve as a beautiful reminder of the sport's elegant past, even as they embrace modern innovations. This balance between heritage and progress is one of tennis's greatest strengths. It honors its history while continuing to look forward, ensuring its relevance for future generations. The enduring appeal of the Grand Slams, combined with the week-in, week-out excitement of the ATP and WTA tours, creates a compelling narrative that keeps fans engaged throughout the year, culminating in the crowning of champions. In conclusion, the journey of tennis from the monastic courtyards of medieval France to the global stadiums of the 21st century is a remarkable story of evolution and endurance. More than just a sport, tennis is a celebration of human potential. It teaches us about discipline, resilience, and the importance of fair play. The handshake at the net after a hard-fought match is a powerful symbol of respect and sportsmanship that defines the game's character. As it continues to inspire and unite people across cultures and generations, tennis stands as a shining example of how sport can bring out the very best in us, encouraging a lifelong pursuit of excellence both on and off the court.